So, let's talk about E3 2014. With the major console launches out of the way, this year's E3 was the one where developers really needed to start cracking down on games, and for the most part they did just that. But we're not here to faff around, oh no, we're here to talk about video games. Hilariously, given my last sentence, I feel that I'm not personally qualified to talk about several of the games that were revealed or otherwise extrapolated upon at E3 here, due to my lack of expertise in the genres. Sadly, outside of the anime girl decals, I have no affection for Forza or driving games in general, neither do I have much affection for the sports. They can throw all the Battlefield they want in there, golf without limits is still golf. So, Microsoft. Lionhead's back with Fable Legends. I'm a self-professed Fable 1 apologist, and I found Fable 2 and 3 to be disappointing, but Fable Legends seems pretty exciting. I'd very much like to know if the characters are locked in, what the game is like without someone controlling the villain, and if the 4-player co-op is an integral part of the game or not. Then again, I'd like to know that about several of the games that were shown at E3. Advanced Warfare seems interesting enough, and I'm not going to simply dismiss it just because it's another Call of Duty. That said, it does look a lot like another Call of Duty. It all looks great until the part where they aim down the sight and start shooting things. Oh hey, Metal Gear. Evolve. Space truckers fighting monsters with sick neon underlighting by the people behind Left 4 Dead. No gameplay was shown, but the game's slogan appears to be Happy Hunting, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm that its full title is probably Cabela's Big Game Hunts Evolved. Back to the 4-player co-op, Assassin's Creed Unity was revealed to have just that. I'm skeptical about that as a concept. I love Assassin's Creed, well, the good Assassin's Creeds, but I do wonder how that 4-player stuff will pan out. Are they real characters that affect the story, or are they just there because Ubisoft wanted to put co-op in this time? I'm excited at the possibilities, don't get me wrong, I'm just a bit perplexed. I hope you're not stuck with some AI guys for a significant amount of time. Oh hey, it's Conker. Good to see you. Oh god damn it, you piece. Sunset Overdrive is the kind of thing Insomniac should be really good at. Crazy weapons and third-person action platforming with a delightfully irreverent sense of humour, although the platforming seems more like Tony Hawk than Ratchet & Clank. I hope this footage is final and not some weird sadistic lie. Hey, Threeser's coming over. That's cool. Weird, but cool. Some guy called TJ Combo is coming to Killer Instinct. There's a joke about combo breakers in here that I won't mention because I'm certain that's going to be made or has been made already, or never mind. Dead Rising 3 has that hot Capcom DLC, and it looks like exactly what you want out of Dead Rising turned up to 11, and with a title like that, I'd say they know what they're doing. In this episode of The Witcher, Geralt, I don't know, hunts a griffin, flirts with a woman, and is surprised when his steel sword is ineffective, but his silver sword is. But shut up, sarcasm, because yeah, this looks fantastic. I really want to play this. I get why the Halo Master Chief Collection is cool, but I wish they didn't keep referring to it as some revolutionary new thing. They've remastered HD remasters. They are the remaster masters. This isn't the holodeck here, this is Halo. This is the Halo deck. Inside seems to be a mashup of Orwell and Limbo in glorious Technicolor with some added stealth mechanics. Could be really cool and certainly looks the part, but we'll just have to wait and see, lest we be taken care of. A new Crackdown has been confirmed, so let's all cross our fingers and hope that it's better than 2 was. And whilst we're at it, let's also hope that Crackdown isn't its final name. I mean, I'd be fine with just Crackdown 3. Let's just make a concerted effort to manage to not have 2 of the 3 Crackdown games to exist to have the same name. The Division showed up with a superbly directed teaser trailer, only to turn into a pretty generic-looking third-person shooter with some really cool effects. It could be awesome, but so could a lot of things, like having voice actors pretend to be real people.
I'm getting a reading over here. This must have been the last train out.
Actually, no, that isn't awesome at all. Rise of the Tomb Raider showed up in the latter half, and I will be honest, I think that title is incredibly dumb. I love the first game, but I just can't get over the fact that they're calling her the Tomb Raider. At any rate, Miss Raider's adventures are continuing, only this time she's figured out how to put on a jacket and is finally seeking psychiatric help. And then Platinum Games announced Scalebound, which is essentially ripped right from a series of recurring dreams I had when I went to California on vacation back in 2012. It was a fantastic series of dreams, and hopefully they'll cut me in. I've got a lot of great ideas. Then there was EA, probably the most underwhelming presser, but it wasn't without its moments, just a bit too much telling and not enough showing. Also, Andrew Wilson looks like he stole his suit out of Deus Ex Human Revolution. Sports, murder, sports and murder. Dragon Age Inquisition surprised everyone with its gripping geometry and rich tapestry of emotion. The environments look nice and the cellist was a nice touch, but I swear to God if they make a Nobody Expects the Spanish Inquisition joke in the game, both eyes and later heads will roll. Criterion's leaving cars behind and are opting to go go for helicopters and pretty much everything else this time around. Mirror's Edge showed up in a very conceptual form and talked about how Faith getting her eye tattooed is making a point. Unless the point is something to do with how stupid it is to get your eye tattooed, I get the feeling it might ring a bit hollow. They gave the developers of Star Wars Battlefront full access to the props used in the Star Wars movies. That must have been terrifying. BioWare announced that they're working on a new IP, and considering their output, I'm excited to see what they might come up with. I've got a lot of faith in them. All of Mass Effect 4's footage was conceptual, so nothing much to say about that. Sports. God, I hate sports so much. Ubisoft's presses are usually pretty good, couched in hit-and-miss presentation. No, Mr. Caffeine, no. No, stop. What is that? What is that? Is that laser tag? It was mostly the same this year. Aisha's a good host. She has her moments.
But the one place that you can't drive is into the past. Thank you for that masterful segue.
Ubisoft showed the first 5 minutes of Far Cry 4 gameplay, which looked... well, it looked a lot like Far Cry 3, which is somewhat odd considering that Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 3 are all very different beasts, but I suppose when a sequel is surprising because it looks a lot like the last one, then that's kind of... well, certainly not the norm. Looks like we got ourselves a hot new dancing video game that you can play on your phone. Damn, I can't believe it. The Division showed up with a really impressive thematrical trailer that reminded me a lot of the first Dead Island trailer, so let's hope the final game lives up to it this time. No, stop! Ugh. The Unity demo had British voice acting for the French assassin, which is an interesting direction to take it.
Bear up, madame. I will return to see justice done.
Especially considering Ubisoft is a French company, and this is a pivotal moment in French history. Now, I love the French, but I understand there's a bit of bad blood there, so why they did that is a mystery to me. Perhaps it's placeholder, or I could be mishearing. A lot of things could be happening, really. Shape Up was a fitness game I might actually end up buying, and that's probably the best thing I could say about a fitness game. Ordinarily, I'd lump this in there with sports and motion controls as things I'm just not interested in, but this seems legitimately cool. I also enjoy watching people suffer. I was skeptical about the introduction talk to Valiant Hearts, but that was a tasteful, well-directed trailer. I'm looking out for this one. And then Ubisoft finished with To Hell With Cover the video game, a new Rainbow Six game that is, I suppose, the reincarnated form of the now defunct Patriots, in which we see voice actors pretending to be real people and coming off as trite and perhaps a little bit too into it. On display was some sort of capture the flag with a scared person instead of a flag. I would say that was novel if Gears 2 hadn't done it already, but this is a different beast altogether, so that's kind of a dumb comparison. I'm really sorry. Sony. I was skeptical going into this without the reassurance that I'd see Jack Tretton's adorable smile at some point, but this one wasn't bad at all. However, much like a standard romantic evening with me...
There is no such thing.
Shut up. It started out great, but then took a turn for the worst, and then we didn't see The Last Guardian, and everyone left feeling a little bit let down. We were thrown headfirst into the Ubiverse when Sony wheeled out some Far Cry 4 gameplay footage which looked fantastic. Much like AC Unity and Fable Legends, this predominantly single-player franchise now has co-op too, but here I can see it really working. Far Cry is just a fun game to play, and with friends in that huge open world it could be excellent. Also, you can weaponize animals, although the definition of weaponize seems to mean more you can watch them kill people and not really do anything else, but the ethics of killing elephants are... Entwined seems a bit like Duet meets Tempest, and I dig the art style. Bloodborne. It's no secret that I'm a fan of Dark Souls, and although Dark Souls 2 was a fine game, I'm excited for the return of Hidetaka Miyazaki. The trailer was all CG and looked a little too zombies for my liking, but I'm confident about this one. I have faith in Miyazaki. Then Little Big Planet 3 burst out onto the scene with no preamble, like a killer whale exploding out from the ice and giving an overlong, hard-to-watch gameplay demo. But that said, it does look nice, and I'm a fan of the last two Little Big Planet games, so let's hope this all lands up. Then Dead Island 2 was announced, and the trailer seemed like a pretty good summation of what I want a zombie game to be, although it's debatable if I even actually want a zombie game given the hordes of them on the market. And Dead Island has a track record for not delivering on what its trailers promise, but this is being developed by Jaeger, the team behind Spec Ops: The Line, so this might be a brilliant deconstruction of the zombie genre. Or it could just be a zombie game, I don't know. Abzu is a game made by the creators of Journey that looks a lot like Journey, that's got the same composer as Journey, but this time it's underwater. I love Journey, so Water Journey might be excellent. Still too early to really know, though. The trailer for Magicka 2 was, appropriately, magical. well. It's a shame I don't really like Magica games very much, because that was fantastic. The Order 1886 showed up looking like a survival horror game as opposed to the 4-player shooter I thought it was, and also distinctly not looking like it was set in 1886. The seamless cutscene into gameplay mechanic looked like it could work pretty well, but at the same time could be super disruptive. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, I suppose. No Man's Sky seems far too good to be true. This will either be really disappointing or completely amazing. Or, you know, mediocre. It could be anything, really. Let It Die is Suda51's newest game, and it seems like it lives up to its reputation, but I don't know, there's a little something missing here. It looks like a multiplayer, hyper-violent, kill-em-all style game, but there was some of that weird pop culture / irreverent camp humour that I missed in this trailer, aside from the logo, which is exactly what I expect from Suda. Grim Fandango! It's being remastered, god damn. Grand Theft Auto 5, it's coming to PS4 and PC. Yeah, okay. I'm excited for Metal Gear Solid 5. Ratchet & Clank is still getting a movie, but they're also remaking or remastering or reimagining the first game. Okay, I'm down. No gameplay was shown, but Sony went on record saying, "No guys, trust us, this will look just as good as any other PS4 game, so let's hold them to that, I suppose." The Last of Us and Diablo 3? What? I didn't finish Arkham City and I haven't played Origins, but Batman Arkham Knight looks amazing. Important to note that looks amazing is not synonymous with is amazing, but even still this looks very cool. And the final big reveal was Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I really dug the tone of this. It was dark in a way the first three weren't. It'll be interesting to see if they're going a more The Last of Us route with this one, although I don't expect that'll be the case. But again, no gameplay. And then finally Nintendo. No presser, no major presence on a stage of some kind, but completely killed the show. I can unequivocally say that I will have a Wii U by this time next year. I'm not one to talk about who won E3, but Nintendo sold me on their console better than anyone else, and they did it with aplomb. Also, that Mother 3 joke was brilliant.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
Yeah, what is this, Robot Chicken? Yoshi's Woolly World looks wonderful, but the egg-throwing mechanic always seemed to kill the pacing for me. I hope it's streamlined somewhat. Captain Toad takes a great minigame from another game and turns it into a full game, which is great if you like that minigame. Magic Fingers. Oh, The Legend of Zelda for the Wii U that they showed pretty much made E3 this year for me. One of the first games I ever played was Link's Awakening, so of course I'm biased, but this looks utterly beautiful. Leave it to Nintendo to come along and show what can really be done with HD when you're willing to stylize it. They finally made their killer app, and I'm so ready for it. I've played Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, 4 Extreme Legends, and 5, and I find them to be really, really boring. That said, this looks alright in a monotonous kind of way. Cool character designs. Then again, the day that I buy a game for character designs is the day that Nintendo comes up with a new IP. Oh. Well, I guess I'm buying Hyrule Warriors. Ika Musume, the video game, is coming to Wii U, and it looks charming as all get out. Nintendo's making the shooter their own, even if the tilt to the gamepad to aim idea seems pretty gimmicky when there's two perfectly good analog sticks to mess around with. Kirby Canvas Curse was an excellent game, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Curse looks to be that, but in a new claymation-inspired art style that looks brilliant. Mario Maker seems like it has some serious potential for those who consider the Mario franchise as getting stale, but at the same time I would really like to see something new, as opposed to all this user-generated stuff. Mario Party 10. It's the 10th Mario Party. Somebody can be Bowser, you're still stuck in that goddamn cart thing. And May's redesign is awesome, thanks Game Freak. X has been revealed to be called Xenoblade Chronicles X, and considering that I loved Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm very much excited for this. Also, the music is composed by one Hiroyuki Sawano, who is essentially my favourite composer, so that's excellent as well. Nintendo's also getting in on some of that sweet Skylanders / Disney Infinity cash with their Amiibo figures. Now, I don't care much for Smash Brothers. Nintendo, you're doing great, and I know you have it in you. What can you do to convince me to purchase Super Smash Brothers?
Titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, titties, ass and titties.
Oh. Okay. Good work. So that was E3 2014. Grab your controllers and strap on your Oculus Rift. Video games are happening.